What's going on, everybody? It's Dylan of the Bottom Line View here to talk about the Sunday Night Football game week number 6 between the New York Giants and the Denver Broncos. The game just went off the air a little bit ago. I was a little late because I was trying to start up this hangout and I was getting into an argument in the group chat. Brett Favre, by the way, is a Hall of Fame quarterback. I know probably no one's going to hear that, but Brett Favre is a Hall of Fame quarterback. I don't know how anybody could have believed that, but maybe, hopefully, Kev and some other people will join. But right now, it's going to be me solo. None of the other guys were able to either watch the video or watch the game, I should say, or be able to be on the recap. So I'm here solo for right now, maybe probably for the whole video. We'll see. But I was watching this game just like you guys did, and I'm honestly a little pissed. The New York Giants won their first football game this season, defeating the Denver Broncos. How many receivers did they have? One. Their tight end. I don't know what this team is doing. I don't know how this team won this game. I really don't. This team had the following people as receivers. The people that caught a ball today. Evan Ingram. Okay, I know who Mr. Ingram is. We had Roger Lewis, who did come big in the game last week, but is not a starter. Orleans Darkwa, who is their running back, by the way. Tavares King, who got signed earlier this week. Jarrell Adams, who caught 2 passes before this game. They had Wayne Gallman. Wayne Gallman. See, I don't even fucking know these people. And then 2 people didn't even catch the ball, but they got a target today. Matt Lacoste, and let's see the other. Travis Rudolph. Do you know these people? Because I don't. I don't know any of these jamokes. It's really sad, the fact that these receivers were playing the game today, and they won. They won by 13. Had the Denver Broncos not even scored that touchdown with 4 minutes to go, this would have been a 20-3 game. I want you to picture that. I want everybody to picture that, right? I want everybody to think about this, right? Imagine this game coming into it, and you're like, man, this is going to be a good game. Denver's going to come out here and crush the Giants. Just destroy them. And then one of your ignorant friends that doesn't watch football that much goes, you know what? The Giants really have a chance to win this game. I predicted to go, 20-10. The Giants can win this game. And you're over here like blasphemous. This guy doesn't even know what he's watching. He thinks the running back is going to throw a touchdown. Oh, wait, Tariq Cohen did that today. So whatever. So you don't believe him. And then you watch the football game with him, and you're just dumbfounded of what happened. You're like, what the fuck? And then now you owe him money because you wanted to bet. Bodo puts it best in the chat. He said, I figure the best way to pick games is to flip a freaking coin. Yes, I might have to do that. I actually put on Twitter, I'm just done with predictions. I am. I will be on them, but fucking hell, if I can predict this game, the NFL is crazily stupid this year. It is. Like tell me how you could have predicted 80% of these records in the NFL. You couldn't have. You can't. The fact we're even at 500 or above 500 is mind-blowing. Wait, Gucci Mane, put it best. Hold on. I have to pull up the video. I need to download that video just so I can have it saved on here and then pull it up in like certain instances. I have to get to it. It's coming. The fact that this season has gone this way and the way it is
oh, they're breathtaking, aren't they?
Mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. Indeed, Gucci, you said it best. Mind-blowing. Broncos, I don't even know what they were doing today. They had a lot. Oh, I just put the wrong one. They have a lot of injuries on the receiver front. That was the same case with the Giants last week. And today's game, oops. There you go. I'm playing myself. They had I don't even know how to say. I don't even know what to talk about in this game. Where are these guys? We're going to talk about Brett Favre. I know everybody wasn't here in the chat when I said this, but Brett Favre is top 10 quarterback. Kev thinks he might not belong in the Hall of Fame. I don't know how that's possible, but let's go over stats. Eli Manning completed 11 passes tonight. 11 of 19, 128 yards, 1 touchdown. First game this season, didn't throw an interception. So, congratulations to Mr. Eli Manning. I'm telling you, he didn't have to sling the rock a lot, and that's good. They got the running game going. Orleans Darkwa, 21 carries, 117 yards, had a 47-yard rush in today's game. Good for them. Receiving-wise, Evan Ingram was their only talented, healthy receiver left out there, and he shined. He caught 5 passes for 82 yards and a touchdown. The only one other person caught caught 2 or more passes. That was Wayne Gallman, who is a running back, 2 catches for 5 yards. Everybody else had 1 catch. Roger Lewis, 1 catch, 15 yards. Darkwall, 1 for 13. King, 1 of 7. Adams, 1 of 6. Terrible, but they still won this football game. Why? Well, they did a pretty good job of playing defense. I don't know if that was their key coming into the season, but yeah, that's kind of what they were doing. Pierre-Paul had 3 sacks. Yes, this is a collusion because in the beginning of the game they're talking about how Pierre-Paul needs to be a presence, and then like right after that play he did something good, and now he has 3 sacks, which is double what he had coming into the season. I don't know. It's collusion. The NFL's colluded. Yeah, he had 3 sacks tonight. Eli Apple recovered a fumble. Janoris Jenkins was getting lit by Demaryius Thomas in the first half. And then he decided to play really good football. He got a pick 6, which was good for him. He made a really good interception, and then was just stopping everything possible from that point on. It was a completely different tale from the first quarter and a half for Janoris Jenkins to the rest, because they were showing comparisons of what he was doing against other receivers. Like, hold on, let me turn this down here. Like against Des Bryant, against Keenan Allen, against I think it was it was a couple other good receivers in the league, and he was crushing them, just stopping them for minimal catches, no distance whatsoever. Against Alshon Jeffrey was another one. So it was weird to see that kind of turnout for him, but yet in the second half and right before the second half did pretty good job of containing himself. Mr. Trevor Siemian, 29 of 50. 376 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. I must point out that my prediction is pretty true. If you throw 40 times in a game, 99% of the time, or I should say around 95 to or so percent of the time, you're going to lose the football game. The only quarterback, I think there's only been twice this season that a player threw for 40 times and won the football game. Both were in very close games, and I believe both of them were exactly 40 throws. So I'm just going to put that out there. I put that out there in the predictions of week 2, and it's still pretty true. You're not winning football games if you're going to throw more than 40 times, most of the time. Brock Osweiler came into this game for the end of the second half because Trevor Siemian hurt his hand, tried to dive for a tackle on Janoris Jenkins on the pick 6, which was interesting. The weird setup. I don't even know how it's possible. Denver rushed 17 times. Osweiler's, I don't really think counts, so let's say 16 times, and they rushed for 47 yards. Booker had 1 rush for 2 yards. Siemian 1 rush for 9 yards. C.J. Anderson 9 carries for 17 yards. Jamal Charles 5 carries for 19 yards. These guys weren't doing jack diddly shit when it came to running, and that's a big negative for Denver. They have to use their rushing game in order to win these big setup games. I mean, I think this is a definition of a trap game, and it sucks for them because they needed good rushing tonight, and they did none of that. Demaryius Thomas became the receiver we all thought he was going to be. Last couple of seasons he's been very disappointing, but 2014 backwards he was actually really good. 10 catches, 133 yards. Long was 40 yards. Booker did not do anything on rushing, but did catch 4 passes for 78 yards. Emmanuel Sanders, 5 catches for 76 yards. And then everybody's yardage kind of goes downhill from there, yet the receptions really don't. A lot of receivers had to get thrown in this game because of injury. They were talking about in the broadcast, Demaryius Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders, you have 2 great receivers, and then you kind of fall off in terms of who your best receivers are. You have Jordan Taylor 3 catches for 26 yards. Jeff Heerman, 2 catches for 24 yards. Who the fuck are these people? Benny Fowler got 3 catches for 21 yards. AJ Derby, 1 catch for 10 yards. Yeah, it's disappointing. It really is disappointing to see this group not do that much. Fumbles. Demarius Thomas fumbled the football after a 4th down conversion, and great play. But I believe it was Jenkins as well. And Eli Apple recovered it. So amazing play there. That kind of just stopped all hope for them. Simeon fumbled it, but he recovered it. Defense for the Denver Broncos wasn't too bad. Like, they tried. Justin Simmons got 11 tackles. It's going to help that Shane Ray's coming back very soon, so that'll be a good thing for them down the line. Von Miller pretty much did nothing in this game. They had 1 sack, and that was Shaq Barrett had that 1 sack. Actually, no, they had a couple. Von Miller had a sack. They had 3 sacks. But none of them really looked all that good. None of them looked so impressive that you're like, oh, well, at least this guy did this thing right, and yada, yada, yada. It was a disappointing performance, to say the least, and considering we thought this team was going to freaking rout the Giants, and they didn't, was crazy. Let's get to the comments. We have a lot of comments to come in here. First off, Predator says no one saw this coming. Yes, no one saw this coming. Tyler says big upset. I only had 3 games just right this week. Rams, Patriots, Texans. Yeah, I actually had 3, but it's 3 different. No, 2 of those are the same. One of them was different. I didn't have the Rams winning. I don't remember who the other one was off the top of my head, but yeah, very fucking disappointing. I guess the Broncos are all defense and 0 offense. I wouldn't agree, but I wouldn't disagree. You know what I mean? Like, the offense is there, but they are normally defense. Like, that's what the one in the championship a couple of years ago in the Super Bowl was. They had good pieces, but they just don't have a great, like, amazing quarterback. Like, if they had the Peyton Manning of 2013, this team is going to win the Super Bowl. But again, knowing the NFL this year, I have no idea who to compare as a good team. Like, literally, the Chiefs lost today. I still think they're a good team. The Eagles are a pretty good team right now. Other than that, who else do you really consider like a great team? The Patriots, I honestly think, should have lost. That call by the Sonoris Jenkins touchdown was such bullshit. And they could have had that first place. But yeah, who looks like a really good team right now? I don't know. TMB says, did you see Martavis Bryant ask for a trade out of Pittsburgh? Really? Is that true? He wants out of Pittsburgh. Why? Hold on. Martavis Bryant. Hold on a second. He tweeted 45 minutes ago, big win today and tomorrow right back to work tomorrow. I'm happy to be a Steeler and can't wait to reach number 7 this year. So, I don't know. And then I don't know. Bleacher Report reported that, so yeah. He'll stay on the team. He'll stay on the team. I think he'll be there for the rest of the year. He's a good receiver. He's number 2 on their team, so I don't know. Bodo says, I figured. Oh yeah, I already read that little comment. Yeah, I saw he's mad because Ben has eyes for only Antonio Brown and Bell. That's true. Ben Roethlisberger could throw blindfolded, and somehow it would still go to Antonio Brown because he knows Antonio Brown's presence. This man, if you have him in fantasy, you're killing it because that's all he throws to. Yeah, I think he's going to break the reception. How many receptions does this guy have? How much does that guy weigh? Oh, that's an NFL. That's a WWE thing. I want to search this up really quickly here. Kevin's still getting a. Let's see here. Reception leaders 2017. This might take a second, but I want to figure this out. NFL statistics, and I don't think this is updated either. Pretty sure it's not updated. It takes till like the second day. It might be. Shit. Passing yards is quite a bit. Receptions. Tony Brown is 40. That doesn't even include today. Yeah, that doesn't include today. I know that for a fact. So go over to the Steelers game. How many receptions did he have today? I think he had at least 10. He had 8. So he has 48 receptions in 6 games. That's an average of exactly 8. Crazy. He had 155 yards and a touchdown. That's 21.5 fantasy points without in a non-PPR league. God damn it. Let's see here. The world is ending. Yes, solutions. Yankee King, yes, the Giants won a game, but you might have more chances to be happy about the Yankees than the Giants so far. Raytheon says, get Victor Cruz from free agency. Yes. TMB says, don't even talk about fantasy. Aaron Rodgers is out for the year, and ESPN leagues, you aren't dropped him. Shaking my head. Yes, Aaron Rodgers broke his collarbone. He's going to be at least out for until probably the end of the year. He might be playing in the playoffs. I don't know if they make the playoffs. Sucks. Really does suck. Predator says Eli was just a pedestrian in this game. Yeah, they didn't do jack diddly shit. He didn't do jack diddly shit. I'm going to put that on the t-shirt. He didn't do jack diddly shit. And then I'm going to put Manning 10 on there. That would be great. He didn't. He threw 11 completions and they won the game. One of those touchdowns came off of a defensive score, so I don't know. What happened to the Broncos run D? They were talking about it in the on the show tonight. Like it was like the passing control of the Broncos in the past, the last couple of seasons for the defense was their key. No fly zone, and now it's ground control. But they didn't have ground control tonight. Orleans Darkwa rushed over 100 yards on them, so I don't know. Let's see here. Von Hook says, should the Packers pick up Colin Kaepernick as their backup? I have no idea why they haven't. Like, why any team has not picked up Colin Kaepernick as a backup. He did file a grievance today with the CBA over collusion. I said that earlier. For teams not even trying out this man, because this man has a lot more talent than freaking who did the Titans sign? I know that Brandon Whedon. You know what I mean? Like, he's a good quarterback. He threw 16 interceptions to a really shitty team and only had 4 interceptions. That's a pretty good 4-to-1 ratio when it comes to touchdowns to interceptions. And he didn't play all that bad last year for a team that was awful. So the fact that he hasn't been signed to any team, it sucks. I think the 2 quarterbacks you really should be looking out for in the Packers, if they're going to sign a quarterback, is Kaepernick and Romo. I say Romo because he's from Wisconsin. He has great receivers out. He has great talent. That's a team there. Plus we've heard him in the commentary booth. You know, he's getting everything. He knows everything. So I would be heartbroken if he goes there. But that's a solution for them as well. I think they like Brett Hundley though. He's been in the system for a couple of years. Even though he's been the huge backup for Aaron Rodgers. They might get him in the system, might try him out for a couple of weeks. So we might be seeing Brett Hundley in there, unless that they pick up that big signing. 0 running game. Yes, indeed. What was my opinion on the Patriots game today? I hated that call. I hated the call of the fumble just because there was a ever so slight movement. It's not like the ball was poked out of his hands and then, like going like this and catch it. No. Sonora Jenkins made the touchdown. Jets would have been down 3, I believe. Yeah, they would have been down 3 with that touchdown. They scored the field goal on the next drive right after a 3.5 by the Patriots. So let's say it's a metaphorical tied game. The Jets have a chance to win that football game. I'm a little pissed they didn't win that football game. Look, I picked the Patriots to win. My record would have been even worse had the Patriots not won. But I don't think that's a good victory for the Patriots. I know Mitch didn't see it, so he can't say anything about it, but that's not a good win. And I guess the Jets give them a really hard-fought game a lot of the time. But if you're looking at it from a standpoint of how they played the game, the Jets did not look good. I mean, the Patriots did not look good today. They did stop. The defense played good, but they are also a team that's given up 6 straight quarterbacks with over 300 passing yards on them. That's never been done in the NFL history. A team has given up 6 straight quarterbacks of 300-plus yards on them. And Josh McCown got that on them. Josh McCown. Winston played a terrible game a couple of weeks ago. He did it on them. Cam went off on him. Deshaun went off on him, even though they lost. Drew Brees, of course, is going to throw these yards. Alex Smith went off on him. Next week, they play Matt Ryan in the Falcons, which will be, by the way, hopefully a much better Sunday Night Football game. But he has easily the potential to throw 300 yards on them. It's crazy. It's crazy. So, although I do think the Patriots are still one of the best teams because of their offense, they did not play that great today. Photo says the Patriots colluded with the refs to win. Nick says, "Come on, bro. No, they didn't. Didn't buy conspiracy. Don't buy into conspiracies. It's a subtle rule that came out during a vital play. If it was at 50, we wouldn't be talking about it. No, I don't think it was a good call. I don't think it was a good call, my bro. They made a bad call, but it's not conspiracy because, like Tyler Jones says, they make good and bad calls all the time. Are we seeing an improvement with the D? No. I think yes and no, because Stephon Gilmore, Eric Rowe were out today, and the fact that they only gave up 17 points is a good thing. But we're still talking about the Jets. I don't care if they're 3-3. I know that helps them into certain categories here, but let's be perfectly honest. The Jets have beaten two teams that are very shaky in the worst team in the NFL, the Cleveland Browns, and the Miami Dolphins, who somehow beat the Falcons today. I don't know. He clearly dropped the ball and did not maintain possession, just like Montgomery and Green Bay. I don't agree. Giants or Seahawks? LA Rams channel. Seahawks. Definitely Seahawks. Giants are terrible. I don't even care if they won. 300 yards for Josh McCown is still terrible. Absolutely. Let's see here. Seahawks. A couple of other things about the play. Bodo picked the Steelers winning. Good job, my brother. Let's see here. Yeah, Nick, I know that you guys would have had the lead. It was still been a 3-point lead, but like I said, possession-wise, they did go 3 and out on the next one. Let's see here. Just looking here. Yeah, a lot of people are telling me Oakland lost the game. Chargers won on the last-second field goal from Nick Novak. Look, Oakland almost won, but Derek Carr did not look great. I didn't think it was going to be that high scoring of a game, to be honest with you. I thought it was going to be like 21-17. They just weren't able to capitalize on the last touchdown. I don't know. And they're going to have to play the Chiefs. Their season's done. I'm sorry, their season's done. Because if you're the Raiders organization, you go 3-4, and then you lose to the Chiefs, you're 3-5. It's hard, especially within that division. But after seeing the Broncos lose tonight, maybe you get a little bit of hope. I don't know. I'm just thinking about that. But now going 2-5, you're not very good. Do I think? First of all, Bodo, you're wrong. Romo is not horrible. Get out of here. Do I think the Cowboys will still make the playoffs? 50-50 chance. Honestly, that's how I feel. The defense is very young and inexperienced. I think they'll get better over time, but we are not ready to be making great plays as a defense going forward. Looking at some of the teams here, also, we have to figure in the fact that Ezekiel Elliott is going to be gone for 6 games. He's still eligible right now because they're filing some stuff. I don't fucking know. But the Cowboys, I think, are going to go hopefully 4-4. I think they'll beat the 49ers next week. They play the Redskins, which might be difficult, and then they play the Chiefs. If we can win 2 of those 3 games, the record will be 4-4. And then they play the Falcons, the Eagles, Chargers, Redskins, Giants, Raiders, Seahawks, Eagles. Hard teams to beat. If we can go, here's the wild card situation right now. Anything is possible in the NFL. Right now, the 2 wildcard teams are Green Bay, who's 4-2, and New Orleans, who's 3-2. A lot of 3-2 teams, possibly, but it's going to be very difficult. I'm not putting my bets on it, but I'm going to cheer for them. Falcons lost. While AFC East is the bane of Atlanta. Shit, they lost to Buffalo and Miami. Predators onto something. Let's see here. Barely Cowboys. Could the Raiders still make a run to the playoffs? I don't think so. I think they're playing too many tough teams in their own division. They're going to play Kansas City, and then they'll play Denver. Or wait, well, they're going to play Denver one more time. With let's see here. Let's look at Oakland's teams they have to play here. They lost that game against the Bears. Or sorry, I don't even know what I'm talking about. The Chargers today. They play the Chiefs on Sunday night or Thursday night football. Not good for them. They play the Bills, who are still 3-2. I like to point out. They play the Dolphins, the Patriots. Not going to be a good game for them. The Broncos, Giants, Cowboys, Eagles, Chargers. I see them struggling to win more than 7 games at this point. Unfortunately for them. No way they made the playoffs. Says Predator. Bucks, Titans, and Raiders are way too hyped up. They're all decent at best. I thought the Bucks were going to be better. I thought all 3 of these teams were going to be better, but I was really hyping up the Bucks. If any more L actually can go to the Titans because those guys have done shit. Is Brady still putting up great numbers for his age, better than the rest of the league? Absolutely. Absolutely. Bodo, it's not HGH. It's not HGH. Absolutely, 100%. The guy's throwing crazy yards. Here's the thing. He's kind of struggled in the 6 games that they played. 3 of them he's played really great games, and 3 of them he's played poor to decent games. But he is the reason they're still 4-2. Let's be perfectly clear. If even Garoppolo would have played in that Houston game, they would have probably taken the L. So that's 3-3 right there. Where were their other things? He probably still won against the Saints. Their other 2 games this year. Let me look over here at the Patriots. New England. I'm looking at their games this season. I want to see what two other games they had here. I think he could have probably beaten the Jets, maybe, possibly. I don't think he would have won against the Panthers. So this team could be 2-4, honestly, but he's still putting up some great numbers. Brady's the only reason their Patriots are competitive. Predator agrees with me. Cowboys can do it. The defense needs to play better. They can score points. I have hope, but it's going to be difficult. It will be difficult. I think it's a 50-50 chance for every team to make the playoffs with the 49ers and the Browns. Yeah. Honestly, look at all the teams that are so freaking polluted in the division, like in the playoff race. Honestly, in the AFC, only one team is, I think, mathematically eliminated, and that's Cleveland. Oakland's 2-4, and the Chargers are 2-4. I don't think the Chargers make it, but the rest of these teams are pretty in there. In the NFC, only 2 teams have a record of 1-5 or worse. That's the Giants and the 49ers. Chicago's 2-4. That banged-up division, you never know. Tampa Bay could still make a charge. Dallas could make a charge. Arizona's 3-3 with the oldest fucking team I've ever seen in my life. God damn, 37 years old, 32 years old, 34 years old. And Adrian Peterson, what a game from AP today. My goodness. New Orleans just didn't know what to do with him. Arizona was a perfect fit for him, it looks like. Detroit, 3-3, but I still think they're going to get better. Seattle could be on the late rise, later on down the season. Washington looks good. Atlanta, I don't even know. New Orleans, I don't even know. Green Bay, I don't even know because I don't even know what the quarterback situation is. The Rams are 4-2. Carolina's 4-2, and I had them going like 7-9. Minnesota's the 2nd seed in the NFC, and they're 4-2. What the fuck is this? I don't understand. I don't understand the NFL right now. I don't understand. Do I think Carson Wentz is a top 10 quarterback right now? That's tough. That is supremely tough to answer. Let's go through all the teams real quick because that's what we've been doing. Alex Smith has ranks to be in the top 10s. These are in no order, by the way. I'm going off of like in the standings of the playoff picture, and then I'm just like counting, So I think Alex Smith can be in the top 10. We're going to leave out Big Ben for right now. Probably not in there right now because he's not playing great football. You have Tom Brady in there for sure. Denver, no. Let me go through the teams, tell you why not. Jacksonville, no. God, no. Buffalo, no. Miami, no. Denver, no. Baltimore, Flacco. We'll put him on the side. I don't know. Jets, no. Deshaun might be close in there as well. Dalton, no. Mariota could be in their top 10, whatever. Jacoby, no. Phillip Rivers is probably in there, so I'll give him 3. He's close. Oakland. Derek Carr's in there. Let's put that there. There's 3 definitive ones. We have Case Keenum / there. I don't even know. Like, Aaron Rodgers would be on that list as well, but Dak Prescott's in the league. Yeah, I would say so. There's a lot of clusterfuck when it comes to quarterback, but I would say both Dak Prescott and Carson Wentz are top 10 quarterbacks right now. I would say so. If you told me last season, I wouldn't put him on the list, but I would think so. Let's see. Tyler says, what record do the Green Bay Packers finish with Brett Hundley as the quarterback? So they're 4-2 right now, I believe. Is that their record? I'm gonna make sure that's the correct record here. Yeah, they're 4-2. They have good talent on the offense. They have great receivers. You have Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb, but they have a lot of fucking injuries. Like, they have 2 offensive line injuries. Half their defense is depleted. Let's look at the rest of their schedule. They play the Saints next week, which the Saints might be getting really good now, even with that shitty defense. The Lions, the Bears, the Ravens, the Steelers, the Bucks, the Browns. I'm going to predict an 8-8 to a 9-7 record, honestly, because they're going to beat the Browns. They're going to beat a couple of these other teams that are very sneaky. They'll beat the Bears probably still, even with Trubisky. And I think they'll sneak away with maybe another one of those Lions wins, maybe a Bucks win. You never know. So I'm going to go with 8-8 to 9-7 record for the Packers. Landon says this is a season full of season-ending injuries. Absolutely. It's crazy. Are the Pats doing an Aaron Rodgers with Jimmy G, or is he gone next season? It's weird because a couple seasons ago when he was the quarterback for, or I guess, it was only last season, when Jimmy G was the quarterback for 4 games and then Tom Brady was in, I thought that was like the trade value at its highest, and then they didn't do anything this offseason. Weird. This is interesting. If I'm the Patriots, I keep him. I do the Joe Montana, Steve Young kind of thing, where you just wait, or even the Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre kind of thing. Tom Brady's still playing amazingly good football, but at some point in his career, he's going to have to go, hey, I'm going to have to retire from the game of football. And Mitch brought this up, and I agree as well. If Brady wins a 6th Super Bowl, does he really need to be playing anymore? Like, let Jimmy G keep the rings. Bill Belichick can still be the coach. They still have the good team. Tom Brady's great and all, but it's 6 Super Bowls. That's like unprecedented. Are they going to win it? I don't know. Their defense is still shoddy to me, but I think they keep him. 7-9 is what Solution says. 8-8 for Von Hook. Will the Eagles get the first seed in the NFC? They damn well look like it right now. They look like the most complete team other than Kansas City. Kansas City struggled today, but I still think they're a complete team. Looking at the Eagles, I mean, you got Carson Wentz who's playing great. They got the run game with LeGarrette Blount in the formation. They got great receiver talent. Alshon Jeffrey's great. Zach Ertz is having a career year. I always like that guy, even as a Cowboys fan. Defensive front 7 is great. When they get Ronald Darby back, that's going to help them. Their secondary is very shoddy. It's very sketchy. But if they play football like that and Carson Wentz plays the football that he's been playing in the last couple of games, this team's definitely something to look forward to. But again, as AC always wants to point out, and I agree with him, Eagles need to take it 1 week at a time. Bell had 194 yards, and the Steelers barely won. I blame Tomlin and Ben, or 191. Ben's playing significantly poor. I honestly think he needs to retire at this season. He's done. Go get a quarterback, rebuild this team. Especially if they don't win the Super Bowl. Like, if they win a Super Bowl, you kind of feel justified, but it's also like the Denver situation where it's like, yeah, we won the Super Bowl with you, but did you really produce? It's like when you get an A+ on a group project, but that one kid didn't do like shit. Like, he threw out like one idea that was awful, and the rest of the group were like, nah. But he still gets an A+ because you're nice people, and he's in your group. That's what Ben Roethlisberger's been doing. He's got great talent, Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, and whatever, but their defense stood up amazingly great today against the Chiefs. But Ben hasn't been doing much. Foul says, should I trade Michael Thomas, Ty Montgomery, for Lamar Miller and Evan Ingram? Well, this is interesting. This is an interesting call. Evan Ingram's a tight end, so I don't exactly know what tight end situation you have. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if, like, Evan Ingram is going to be a lot better for your situation. Considering you're going to trade for him, like, I'm guessing not. Ty Montgomery, if you're trading him for Lamar Miller, I think is an upgrade. And I think Evan Ingram, yeah, I would go with it. I would personally go for it. If you have good receiver talent and you're willing to give that up receiver for Michael Thomas and you're willing to get that tight end, I think that's a good pick. Eagles will be complete when Darby comes back. That's coming from an Eagles fan. I know a couple of Eagles fans. AC is an Eagles fan. One of my buddies that I went to high school with is an Eagles fan. We've been talking a lot about our seasons. We were on Snapchat a couple of days ago. We were talking. And, I agree with them. The defense is looking really solid. It's super solid. When they get that secondary help, they're going to be a damn near complete team, honestly. And that's coming from a Cowboys fan. That hurts to say, personally, myself. But I look at good football. I see what I want to see. I want to see Cowboys versus Steelers last year. Sorry, Bodo, but that was one of the best games of the last 15 years. By the way, I tweeted this out yesterday. I was like, I want more classic NFL games. What game this year have you seen that you could consider a classic NFL game? Nothing. There's been none. Last year we had that amazing baller game between the Cowboys and the Steelers. One of the best games of the last 15 years. I want another game like that. What if Brady ended up in Denver? So you're saying if after the season they're like, let's go with Garoppolo, he went over to the Broncos. I think he would still lead the Broncos to a championship. That's how good Brady is. He's going to make the team significantly better. There's only 3 quarterbacks that could actually really do that in this league. And having Tom Brady be one of those guys, he could go out there and still do it. Now, it all comes down to health. He's looking like the healthiest 40-year-old football player I've ever seen, not named a kicker. Jacksonville, the defense is solid. Yeah, maybe. He couldn't lead the only team I can definitely say 100% Tom Brady wouldn't lead to a championship to the 49ers and the Browns. I don't think that's possible. But the Jets the defense is great. Jets Dolphins was legendary. No. It was legendary in the crap bowl fest, I'll tell you that much. Where do I think the Patriots will be in 5 years from now? Okay, so Brady's going to be retired in 5 years. I'm pretty sure of that. Belichick, I don't know. If Belichick is gone, I think this team will be losing a lot. When Belichick retires, this team's going to have to put in a lot of rebuilding phases, and it might be going back to some lower standards. But I think the effect of Belichick has led this team to be successful, so I think they'll be good. I think they'll be a near playoff team to a playoff team in 5 years. But I don't know if they're going to have long-term success. We haven't seen the panned out of Jimmy G yet. I think they could be, but you never know. 49ers would be cool because he grew up in that area. Yeah, it would be something interesting. It's like the Montana effect, He played in the 49ers most of his career, and then I think the last 2 seasons he played in Kansas City, still played really good. I think he even did he get him to a playoff? I don't remember, but he played amazingly good football. So it'd be interesting. Kirk Cousins going to the 49ers. If the 49ers get Kirk Cousins, finally we could stop the drama in Washington. Because A, I wouldn't have to boo the guy because he's a Washington. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan because I like Kirk Cousins. And B, just seeing Kirk Cousins out there in a 49ers jersey would be great. Crypto says we love Dylan. Thank you very much. I'm all by myself today. So that's good. Yeah, guys, put any more comments. I'll be here for a couple of more minutes. I don't even think we've been talking about the Broncos-Giants game for the last 20 minutes. Predator brings up that Montana did get the Chiefs to the playoffs. I have a 49ers old school jersey in there of Joe Montana. Was the greatest quarterback until Tom Brady showed up. You know what, Paul? I'm going to give you a poll. This is a serious poll. I brought this up earlier, but I want everybody to get their opinions out here. Okay. Is Brett Favre but let's answer two questions. Is Brett Favre A Hall of Fame quarterback? And B, is he a top 10 quarterback? I would agree both, but Mr. Kev doesn't think one of those is true. Hulk Hogan for president, definition of America, of course. I actually took a picture with Mr. Hulk Hogan. I'll show you the pic. It's my background, so yeah. Mr. Hulk Hogan. I just took the picture with the Hulkster. Who wins the AFC South? Okay. Houston honestly looks like the best team. Or Jacksonville. It's one of those two. The Colts, I think, have a little too much off their hands right now. And what's his name? In Tennessee, they're just struggling. They're struggling. I don't think that's gonna work. Texans have a lot of injuries on the defense, but considering that division, I think they'll pick up some good wins. And Deshaun Watson has thrown 12 touchdowns in the last 3 games. No, 13 in the last 3 games. So, yeah, I think the Texans will be the winners of that division. A couple of answers. Predator says both A and B. Tyler says yes, both. Hall of Fame, no doubt, both. I'm telling you. Let's see. I think Kirk will take less money to play somewhere else. Somewhere else from Washington. I would be pissed. I would honestly be pissed if I was Kirk Cousins right now. He's been playing really good football with a team that has been good at times, but they're also getting rid of pieces. They lost Garcon and Jackson in free agency this year, and I get franchise tagged twice in a row. The only quarterback in NFL history to do so. Like, I'd be pissed. I'd be pissed if I was him. I would honestly go take less money if it was like a better situation. Like, let me think of if he went to Jacksonville, he'd make that team good. If he went to the 49ers, I think he would make that team pretty close to good, especially with Shanahan there. Who else would be a better scenario for him? I don't think he would make the Dolphins better. Bodo, so you think he's not – Bodo, you think he's not in the Hall of Fame, but he's a top 10 quarterback of all time? Explain that to me. I don't understand how that's possible. Yankee King says he will be the 2nd overall pick. I think he'll be 3rd. I think the 49ers and the Browns will still have the first 2 picks. And then the Giants can have number 3. I think it's the time to tank at this point. Oh, if he went to the Broncos, yeah, let's talk about that. If Kirk Cousins went to the Broncos, he would have a good setup. I think he would have a good setup. Even though they lost tonight, everybody's losing in the NFL. You got to lose some games. I think they would be a good team towards the playoff stretch. They would probably – the Broncos in that situation would probably be a 3 seed, and they would probably play a wild card team. Like it's a 5 seed, of course. I don't know. Or the 6 seed going into the next round. They would probably play a good team like that, and then would go further on down the list. And they could be. Where does Eli get traded to? If I'm any NFL team, I would not trade for Eli Manning. I wouldn't. I don't see the talent there anymore. Ow, that hurt. I was getting something. If Eli was to leave that organization, I don't understand why any team would go call the phone for Eli. He doesn't bring anything new to the table, and he's old. He's getting old. The class of 04 is getting old. Rivers doesn't look like the quarterback he looked like even a year ago. Big Ben looks like shit, and Eli's been shit to very consistent, so I don't know why anybody would want him. Predator says, what if Kirk to the Patriots in some strange way? That would be amazing. I would love to see Kirk be there for another, 10 years and love that team. Yankee King says veteran presence in the locker room. If you hired him as a coach, maybe, but I don't think as a quarterback, I don't think that's very necessary. I believe he stays in the Redskins. I think he will most likely. if he makes the playoffs, he's definitely set. Let's say this right now. If the Redskins make the playoffs this year, he's definitely going to stay with the Redskins. If not, we could have some really fun times with this headline in the offseason because he could be going a lot of different places. So we'll see. I got another 5 minutes, guys. So ask your questions, wait for the next 5 minutes, and I'll be out. There will be so many quarterbacks retiring this and next year. It'll be bad. Yeah, because Brady's going to retire very soon. We're starting to get the new change of guard in the quarterback situation. I remember late 90s, early 2000s, we got that guard when guys like Montana and Aikman and Warren Moon and all those quarterbacks were retiring. Steve Young. So that was kind of the guard, and these new quarterbacks were coming in, and the quarterbacks of the last 15 years have made a big presence on the NFL. Huge presence on the NFL. Favre, Brady, Manning. So I think we're getting our next quarterback change here very shortly. We might be struggling for the next couple of years to see that change. Aaron Rodgers is going to be the face of the quarterbacks for sure. But past that, we got to get some new talent in here. And that's been happening with the number 1 and number 2 situations in the last 5 years with 2012 and 2015. One worked out decently well, and the other one's working out pretty well. A 6th-round pick for Eli, maybe a 7th. Texans can have Eli help Watson. He can, again, yeah, he can be like a helpful quarterback. Like, I don't think Eli needs to start over Deshaun, though. Like, he needs to be helping him out there. What if Brock Lesnar was good at – if Brock Lesnar was good at football, it would be lit. It would be so lit. Rivers to Packers. Nah. Adam McIntyre, is Phillip Rivers a Hall of Famer? No. And I'm going to tell you why. They don't have that much. He doesn't have that much success when it comes to the playoffs. I always think like this. If you're a quarterback that put up pretty decently well together stats, had good stats, and he won 1 Super Bowl, you're getting in the Hall of Fame. Unfortunately for Eli Manning, I hate the guy. I don't think he should be in the Hall of Fame. But he won 2 Super Bowls, and he beat the Patriots, and he beat the undefeated season. And on top of that, he's a really good postseason quarterback, as much as I hate the guy. So, yeah, he's in the Hall of Fame. Rivers, on the other hand, had like 3 or 4 amazing seasons, all with LaDainian Tomlinson. That was a great team, but they always got stopped by the Patriots, who were just a little bit better as a whole unit. And then from there, whatever. So Rivers is a good quarterback, and I like him personally, but he's not a Hall of Fame. Should the Browns make a midseason coaching change? The Browns need to just retire as a franchise, but to answer the question, no. They don't. It's the one time they were actually pretty decently put together in the last 10 years. Hugh Jackson, 7. No, that was the Raiders. I'm sorry. But this team doesn't need any more firings. They need to stick with their guns. They need to do something because they drafted well this year. They got David Njoku, Myles Garrett, Jabril Peppers, so I think he'll still be a good player. He's got to wait. I think they need to wait another season. Because out of anything else, the Browns have time. The Browns have time today to figure out something. So we'll see. Let's see. Rivers will probably retire next year, maybe, and take Eli and Ben with him. Yes. Steelers Bears was the classic. No. Top 10 yards and touchdowns all time. I'm guessing you're alluding to Rivers. I don't think I get it. That's good. That is a good stat point. But I mean, I don't think the Hall of Fame committee is going to be. I think they're looking for more wins. The statistics is a great factor. Of course, that's going to help you boost your thing in there. But if a guy like Randall Cunningham is not in the NFL Hall of Fame and Phillip Rivers is, are we? I don't know, man. I don't know. Just saying. Sam Darnold is the top quarterback in this upcoming draft. He is, but he really needs to fix up logistical problems. Because I've been watching USC because my boy, I went to high school with Ronald Jones. If you've heard Ronald Jones, if you're watching college football, went to high school with him, played a little bit of football with him on the team. He graduated when I was a sophomore, so he was a senior when I was a sophomore. The freshman team would come out there and play with the varsity guys and be their kind of spot guys or whatever. And I saw him play. He saw me play. I've filmed him. We've had a conversation or two. I was watching the game. He had a great performance, by the way. And Darnold just didn't look good. He had 3 fumbles in the first half. One of them was off Ronald Jones' face mask. But he didn't look good. There was some big problems. He's throwing balls way too high or way too far. And it was against a Utah team that's not ranked anymore. So if USC wants to be good, in this season, he needs to be good. He needs to raise his stock again because he didn't look all that good last night. 49ers released Bowman for some reason. I don't know why. I have no idea why either. But he's visiting the Raiders and the Cowboys tomorrow. I'll be very happy when Bowman comes to the Dallas Cowboys. Very happy. Let's see here. How will CJ Beathard do next week? Yes. Sorry. Yes, CJ Beathard came into the game for Brian Hoyer. That's how bad the 49ers season is gone. Who are the 49ers playing next week? They're playing the Cowboys. I don't know. I don't think he'll do great, but I think he'll do decently enough. I think he's going to use Carlos Hyde a lot. Brett Favre has an 8-8 record or better every season besides one, not including his last season. Or his first and last season. Yeah, Brett Favre's a Hall of Fame quarterback, no question. I think Rosen is the best quarterback coming out of the draft. I like him. I think he's solid enough. Imagine if the Jets won the Super Bowl. Nope. And Lamar Jackson to the Giants says Yankee King. That would be a good fit for him, considering Eli is nowhere near as athletic as anybody else on his offense when they're healthy. But Lamar, the Louisville's lost 6 of the last 10 games. The stock has been decreasing for him. But I think he'll come out of college this year, so we'll see. That's going to do it for this episode, this recap of the Giants-Broncos game. I hope you guys enjoyed it. A lot of conversation was talked about the NFL here today, so that's good. Even if it was by myself, I had a good experience with you guys. So, comment below your thoughts on the game like you guys did. If somebody else is later on, comment below. Subscribe to The Bottom Line View. We're almost at 3,600 subscribers. My personal ultimate goal for this channel by the end of the year is 4,000. If we can get to 4,000 by the end of the year, would be great. Predator says, see you, Dylan. See you, brother. Like the video. Watch for more content. We are going to be doing the Monday Night Football recap tomorrow. Colts-Titans should be a fun little matchup, AFC South matchup. That we'll have a lot of fun to talk about there as well with the other guys joining us. So thank you guys for watching. Peace out.